clip of this later. All right. Back to my sharing. So I was talking about this Japanese small village where this concept of Ikigai originated from. And the meaning of Ikigai simply means a reason for being. What that means is a reason for our existence, which translates automatically to purpose. Purpose is the reason why anybody lives. Purpose is the reason why you and I live. Purpose is the reason why we do everything. A life without purpose is a life of frustration. And just to be clear, purpose is not money. It's not that you made money, oh, I have lived a purposeful life. Purpose is pretty much meeting the major reason why you are on earth, why you were created, why you were put on this earth, right? With purpose. Now, the misconception a lot of us have about purpose is that we feel like purpose must be this grandiose thing. So we feel like people like Bill Gates, oh, they lived a life of purpose. Mark Zuckerberg, Apple, and all of that stuff. Why? Because they invented some things. So we just automatically say, oh, they lived a life of purpose and all of that stuff, right? However, there is also purpose that, excuse me, it's not necessarily linked to you created or you invented something and all of that stuff. Your purpose can actually even be within your family unit. That can actually be your purpose. How you are able to even steer things. So sometimes there's someone in the family who is motivated by you. You're their motivation. You're the reason why they want to be better. That can actually be purpose for someone, right? The reason why someone else wants to be better is you. Now, that can actually be classified as purpose. So it does not necessarily have to be, oh, I invented something, I didn't invent something, and all of that stuff before you say, oh, I've lived a life of purpose. No, purpose can be found in the most simplest things. Purpose can be found from a place of how you are even helping someone else to fulfill their own purpose. That could be purpose. I give you a clear-cut example. If you read the story of Moses, you find out that his uncle Jethro, at a point in time, Moses was carrying all of the whole wahala of, on his head. At a point, Jethro, look, this thing you're doing, you're going to weary yourself out very quickly. Delegate, delegate, delegate. And that was how he was able to live longer. And that was just purpose for him. Now, these Japanese guys cracked this code of this word called Ikigai. And I said that Ikigai, they defined it as a reason for being. Now, let me give you some Japanese proverbs. I just put together some of them. It says, be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid of standing still. What that means is no matter how slow the progress is, what you should be bothered about is that you're making progress. When you're not making progress at all, you should be bothered. A frog in a well does not know the vast ocean. So, I mean, the well is a small place, right? But when a frog is thrown into the ocean, he tends to see that, oh, there is another entirely different, this is another entirely different framework, right? And all of that stuff. So I won't dwell here. These are just some proverbs and all of that stuff. Now, what is Ikigai? What is purpose? Now, Ikigai is translated directly to mean purpose. It is that thing that wakes you out of the bed in the morning. Now, let me just help us quickly. Every single time you find out that you dread going to work, if you want to know if you're doing something that is purposeful for you, anytime you find out that you dread going to work, like you don't like it. You look forward to the weekend, you look forward you don't look forward to Mondays and all that. You're probably working out of purpose on that work, in that job, sorry. So you have what you call a job and you have what you call work. Your job could be your 9 to 5. Your job could be a survival framework for you. That's your job. However, if your work is your life's goal, that's how to classify it. So when I say I have a work, what I am referring to, or what I should be referring to, is I am talking about something I am doing that it's in line with my purpose. If you flip back, it is in line with my purpose. That is my work. I would do it for life. However, when I say my job, so my job becomes what I do to survive. Now, look at it this way, all right? The A cow and a dog, dogs, small, small dogs and all. Now, when a cow is going to give birth, usually gives birth to like one other cow, big cow, and all that stuff, right? When dogs want to give birth, they give birth to puppies, lots of them. Some even die, 12, 13, right? Some die and they leave each other. Now, the cow lives a longer life than a dog. The idea is this: when you are going to go on the journey of purpose, the journey of purpose is not a one-day actualization process. It's a lifetime of discovery. It's a lifetime of finding out who you are and impacting others. That is purpose, right? Now, so it takes a while for purpose to manifest. And even when you activate purpose, for example, it still manifests, over a lifetime. And that's a long time. Some people will live 80, some people will live 90, some people will live 60, 50 years. That's a long time, right? So the cow in this example is just like your purpose. It takes a while for a cow to grow big. You don't give birth to a cow and in how many months it's big. It takes a while for a cow to fully mature. But the point is, when a cow fully matures, you can use one cow to feed a lot of people. Now, but even a dog, even if you eat one small dog cannot feed the amount of people. But now, just now, you see dogs mature and they are all over the place. They're roaming all around the place and they're running around the place. But a cow is slower. A cow is not as fast as a dog. It doesn't move here and there and all of that stuff. So the idea is, you see, the cow is like your purpose, and your purpose is closely tied to your talents. Your talents. Now, your talents are those things that your talents are those things that come naturally to you. I'll show you on the next slide now when we get into IKIGAI. I'm just doing a framework so that you understand where I'm trying to go. So your job is like your work. Your job is like those dogs. Ability, quick. You develop an ability to be able to do something, even if it's not in line with your purpose, but it's a survival skill set you've developed. Because when we get into purpose now, you will see that there is a part called what you can be paid for. That's where your job comes in that entire framework. That's where your job comes. However, a lot of us get lost in our job. And don't get me wrong, your job can be directly linked to your purpose. For the few people in life, they said about 5% of people will find purpose in their job in this world. That means they will do a job that is in their purpose line. If you are part of those 5 people, you see, your own case is very easy. Like you are favored. You're doing a job that is in line with your purpose. So it's easy for you, right? So what you're meant to do with your job is supposed to be like a fuel because it's fast. Now you can get a skill, go to school, get a job. You're supposed to use your job to generate the income that you will use to finance your purpose. And your purpose mostly is tied to talents. Let's say I am a musician, for example, and this is where a lot of young people are missing it. let's say I'm a musician, and I know that this is my purpose. I'm meant to use my voice to reach millions with
What?
a voice of hope and all of that stuff, right? With a message of hope. So I'm singing and singing and singing. But you know what? It is difficult for people to believe you when you're just
Your
starting
purpose is tied
because you
to
have
me.
no track record, you have no credibility. But people keep asking, who is this person? Can we trust them? Are we sure they know what they are doing? And all of that stuff. In all of that time that people are asking all of those questions, time is going. And your purpose is not feeding you at this point in time. So if I'm a musician and I'm going out, I'm trying to get my art together. I'm performing in nightclubs. I'm going from stage to looking for shows, looking for promoters and producers. You need money to transport and move around. You need money, you need funds. Because if you don't have money, for example, to even enter transport and go to Lagos and go to this when there's a show, you find out that you're not going to even scratch the surface of what the potential of your talent could be. And that's where a job comes. And that's why we develop abilities. So, whereas your talents you don't develop your talents. Your talents are innate. What happens is that you discover your talent. You don't develop talent. What you develop are skill sets. You develop an ability to become a skill. So you develop a speaking ability, for example. You find out that you know how to communicate. You develop a speaking ability, for example. You polish it and polish it and polish it, hone it, hone it, hone it until it becomes a skill. When it is now a skill is that thing that is monetized. What people pay for is skills because skills is what creates value, and value is equal to wealth. So anytime value comes into an equation, a problem equation, wealth is created. Simple. But so you see the formula, and for your job, you require a skill. That's what you require for job. Now, you need a job for sustenance, not for living, for sustenance. Pay your bills, move from here to there, and all of that's what a job. That is the purpose of a job. And again, I said you can find purpose in your job, actually. Some people will. Most people will not find purpose in the job that they are doing. If I put up a poll now and I ask you, how many of you in the chat box now, let's be very, very honest, in the chat box, just type if you are one of those people. Oh, sorry, because I was rushing, we forgot to introduce ourselves. I always say this is a place to network. So you have people who are in HR here, you have people who are in organizations here. I always say it is a good thing to put down your name, your location, and what you do, just in case someone is on the chat box, you know. And then, so I'm starting with my own. My name is Zax. I am in Abuja. I am a trainer. I'm putting it on the chat box now. HR specialist, operations specialist, amongst many, leadership expert. So you should be typing your own too. You don't know who is on the chat box that wants to meet you, right? Or be mutual. So yeah, that's me. So as you're typing that, I mean, if you're here on this call and you know that the job you're doing right now is your purpose, please just on the chat box, just say yes. But if you know that you're like some of us who we know that, okay, our job is our job, our purpose, we either have not discovered it or we are still on the journey of our purpose. Yeah, you can write it. So it's either I have found my job is or my job is not. My job is or my job is not. Okay, Jacob, well done. Now, use the chat box very well. Okay, so look at that. The reverse becomes the case for Purpose. Purpose is directly linked to talents. 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 So when you're going on the journey of purpose, you're going with something called talents. I'm not sharing my slide now. I'm not sharing my slide now. When I start to share, I've not started. I'm just doing a preamble, right? Now, your purpose is tied to your talents. Pay attention to your talents. One, what is that thing that people, okay, I'll get there. Let me not go behind myself. When people say my job is my purpose, I don't mean your career. I don't mean your profession. They are two different things. I mean the job I am doing now, this job I am doing now, I am on now. What it means is I will stay there. I can stay there for the next 20 years. That's what it means. When you look at people, Microsoft, like Paul Blanchard and the rest, well, Blanchard has been in Microsoft with Bill Gates from when they started, about 30 something years now, and he's still there. That's the kind of job that we can attribute to purpose. He's the fifth richest man in the world now by working for someone else. So people that say you can't grow rich by working for someone else, I beg to differ. I can count a number of people that grew rich by working for someone else. Paul Allen is one of them, who worked with Larry Ellison, the owner of Oracle Corporation, right? These were employees. The only kind of employee, what's her name? The Zenith Bank lady, I'm trying to remember her name now. The current MD of Zenith Bank got into Zenith Bank in 1990 as a corper, 91. She stayed there. She has not moved across any bank. And you know, bank is very volatile. They move around a lot. From the time she was an NYSC core member, she stayed there up until now. Right now, she became the MD. That is what we mean when we say your job is your purpose. One organization, one Zenith Bank. She understood what her assignment was in Zenith Bank. She stayed in Zenith Bank. So if you're still busy moving, trying to look for a better job, look for the next better job, your job is not your purpose. Your job is your purpose when you find this place and you say, okay, I stay here. That is what we mean by your job as your purpose. Your career as your purpose would mean that you have found a career path. Oh, I'm in HR. Oh, I'm in quality management. Oh, I'm in finance. This finance, I have found purpose in it. And then you can articulate it. Now, let me go back to my slide. Let me go back to my slide. I believe you can see my slide now. Right? Now, the basis, let me start from here so that we'll even clarify this one. Can everybody see my slide?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I said Ikigai is called purpose. The Ikigai is a Japanese term for purpose. Every individual has Ikigai, all of us. The challenge is us discovering it, finding the purpose for it. Now, let me bust your bubble.
Oh, bueno, Baba. Oh,
The
está haciendo
basis of Ikigai, if you want to understand and know purpose, purpose is not for you. It's not for you. Purpose is always you living for some people else. That is purpose. So the big question to ask yourself is, this thing I am calling my purpose, is it for myself? Because if it is for myself, what it is an ambition. Because the drop downs of purpose are one, vision, which we are going to look at next month. We are going to talk about vision next month because that's, I wanted to combine it today, but no, I didn't want to rush it. Vision. Number two, mission. Number three, um, um, I said vision, I said mission. Number three, passion. These are the ingredients of purpose. These three things are what drives purpose. So the question is, if you say you have discovered your purpose, then do you have an articulated vision? And of course, a vision is a futuristic representation, a picture, right, of the future. That's vision. Do you have an articulated vision? Number two, do you have the mission? So the mission is the how. I still have a challenge to get my Pro Zoom up. So if it goes off, please rejoin using the same link. We'll just join once and that's it. Rejoin using the same link, right? And then there is one ingredient, there is one secret thing that helps you to know if you are in purpose or not. That secret thing is called passion. Passion, the fuel. What you're doing currently, do you have the passion for it? Like, passion is a burning desire that makes you just want to go on and on. You don't get tired. I can talk like this from now till tomorrow. I'm handling this subject of training or teaching people or trying to help people find who they are. This is my purpose in life. You can see that it's not about me. You're not paying me anything. Let's assume this was a paid session. We're like, okay, the money is motivating me. So when you talk about purpose, you find motivation inside of what you're doing. And that motivation is fueled by something called passion. You're passionate about it. Have you ever seen someone who's passionate about children? You cannot explain it. Where some of us, like me, I I love kids. I just cannot stand their excesses. Plenty children like that. This one will cry. This one will shout. This one will break remote. There are some people that thrive in that kind of environment. They have passion for children. Their purpose is with children. Can you see what I'm trying to say? So your passion will always lead you, will always indicate what your purpose is. Now, let's go back to my slide. I had to come back because somebody. So I said that the basis of Ikigai is not to enrich your life. So diet. I have 8 more minutes for this session to go, right? And then we'll come back. The basis of Ikigai is not to enrich your life, it's to enrich the lives of others. The grand essential of happiness in this life is something to do. There are three things to take care of. There are three components. Number one, something to do, something to love, number two, and something to hope for. These are the three components. One, you find something to do, and that thing you find to do is something to love, is something you love. When you love something, when you love someone, you make sacrifices for them. You don't think about it. That is the difference. And that is why when you truly want to know if you love someone, how much can you sacrifice for them? I hear a lot of ladies say guys are stingy. Oh, he's a stingy guy. No, the correct analogy is he doesn't love you enough. Because men and women would always give up something for someone they love. And that is how purpose works. It works from a place of love. You gotta love it. And then hope. There is always that hope when you're dealing with purpose that this thing is going to be better tomorrow. You hope there is a reason for you to wake up tomorrow because there's a lot that you feel you need to do. There is a lot more you see in that picture and says, oh, there's a lot for me to do. I need to wake up tomorrow. I need to get, that is hope. These three ingredients are the essentials for happiness in this life. Something to do, and that something to do is something you love, and that something to love is something you hope for. Mm. Each and every one of us in this life, we are all searching for meaning, the meaning of life, the meaning of life. Every time you live life connected to meaning, what does life mean? Life is beyond waking up, like I said, going to a job and coming back. If you cannot find a purpose in that job, you're whiling away time. Time is going. What would happen is that you easily become frustrated. You lost connection. We say that the happiest people in this life are not the wealthiest. And that's why that village in Japan I was talking about is the richest, though. They are not the richest in the world, though. They are the happiest because every time you go there, they are in a state of flow. A state of flow means a state of connection. They are connected with purpose, connected with nature, connected with the being of life, the pendulum of life. And the pendulum of life rests on the beam of purpose. Why? Because if you disintegrate purpose, you will see vision here, you will see mission here, and you will see passion here. And on that passion, you will find motivation. And motivation is what makes us not to become frustrated because passion fuels our energy. And that's what I've been talking about. Now, when you find purpose or when you are working in purpose, even ordinary routine tasks like administrative, just simply putting a file becomes something you enjoy to do because you know that you are inside purpose. You are lounging right in purpose. So it becomes something that you do with ease. It's not stressful for you. Have you ever seen Hausa people that dig well in the north? If you see, one time we're going to dig like a borehole and everything, everybody kept on calling this Malam Isa guy, Malam Isa guy. So everybody we ask the Malam Isa. And then Malam Isa comes. The way this guy does, the way he does it, he's not even concerned about the money, the negotiation, and all of that. And before you know what, like I can start today. They do it and they do it and so well. And I get to discuss with him, and I'm like, understand. He enjoys this thing. He enjoys the way he put it in Hausa. I want to say it in Hausa, but not all of us understand it. But the translation was he enjoys helping people to find water. Ruwa. In Hausa, water is called Ruwa. He didn't say I enjoy digging wells or I enjoy making money from digging wells. He said I enjoy helping people to find water. That thing tripped me. This is someone who dig wells. He has been digging wells for 20, 30 years. And that's what he still does. But you see how he has coined what he does. He said, I enjoy helping people to find water. That's someone who understands his purpose. Now, and this is everything I talked about. Everything I've talked about is you must first find your work inside a purpose. And then you draw out a mission from it. And your mission will cascade into assignments, which can change over time. But all of this is going to be in the vision class of next month. That's when we'll dissect this one. What are assignments? What is a mission? What is a vision? What do you mean by vision accomplished? But it is first of all important for us to understand purpose so that when we start to talk about vision, mission, purpose, and assignments, you will understand what we're talking about. Now, everything I'm talking about, this is where we'll spend the next 30 minutes of this slide, of this time, on this slide alone here. Hmm? This is Ikigai. If you see where my cursor is moving around, that center, where my cursor is, right, is what is called purpose. This is where your happiness is. Here, here. This place my cursor is moving is where your happiness is. So this will go off in less than 1 minute. It's going to go off now. So I'll wait for it to go off. Please just join with the link and let's deal with this in the next. We'll use the next 30 minutes to cover this. Rejoin with the same link as quick as you can. And then I'll tell you what the Ikigai is. And then we'll move forward from there. And that's all we'll do today. So let me pause here so that I don't start and it goes off on you and you don't get it, right? So you get it from here. So while that is happening,